Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and it's that time of the week again, trying to predict the winners of all the major motorsport races going on in the world without embarrassing myself completely in front of my eager viewing public. Let's take a look at how I did last weekend. Well, Joseph Newgarden won in IndyCar and that was my great success, and Johan Kristoffersson won in Rallycross. Obvious really, more of a shock he didn't win too. And nothing else. It's almost as if this is a waste of time and predicting the results of motor races is a fool's endeavour. Well, we are doing it again anyway. We have plenty of racing to watch this weekend, including the Dutch Grand Prix as Formula 1 returns to our screens, F1 Academy is also back, IndyCar and Indy NXT have their final road races of the year from Portland, NASCAR from Daytona, the GT classes of IMSA are racing at Virginia, Super Formula from Motegi, British touring cars from Donington Park, and European Le Mans from Spa-Francorchamps. So with all that to get through, let's delay no longer and jump into this look at the forthcoming weekend's motorsport. Leave your predictions in the comments below, and let's jump into the video. Starting of course with Formula 1, and it does feel like the pendulum of performance has swung against Red Bull. Both Mercedes and McLaren seem to have got the jump on them, and luck has fallen to the Mercedes team with 3 wins in the last 4. But both McLarens have been in and around those top places at all 4 of those races. But this is Max Verstappen's home Grand Prix. Since Zandvoort rejoined the Formula 1 calendar, he is the only one to win here, and I think he'll do it again. A 4th Dutch Grand Prix win in a row for Max means the last 2 winners of the race are Max Verstappen and Niki Lauda all the way back in 1985. Only one driver has won 4 Formula 1 races at Zandvoort, and that is Jim Clark, who took his 4th and final Dutch win in 1967. So, by being the first driver to win the Dutch Grand Prix 4 years consecutively, Max will also be the first 4-time winner in nearly 60 years. So, if Max Verstappen wins, who fills for the rest of the podium places? Well, I think a McLaren will be buzzing around him. I don't think Max will have this race to himself. Lando Norris will be right there with him throughout the race. And the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz Jr. completes the podium. Behind them, I will put the Mercedes pair dicey with Oscar Piastri, and then Yuki Tsunoda ahead of Fernando Alonso and Kevin Magnussen. That is my top 10. I think this will be another disastrous race for Sergio Perez. He may be running near the top 5 at some point, but I think he'll fall victim to a mechanical issue around the halfway point. The rest of the field will do what the rest of the field usually does. It'll be the usual bunch scrapping for the last points giving place and trying not to be last. No surprises really, but hopefully we are on for a really good Grand Prix. F1 Academy is back for the first time since the Spanish Grand Prix weekend a couple of months ago. Abby Pulling is dominating this series in 2024. She hasn't finished outside the top 2, and I think that will continue at Zandvoort. A win for Abby Pulling, and I'm going to presume Dorian Pain is full fit and ready to go. She'll take a win and the other second place. Maya Wuruk will be the best of the rest, with Chloe Chambers fighting with Emily de Haas and Nerea Marti. There is a debut for young Dutch woman Nina Gademan. I'm not expecting much, but this is a good learning opportunity for her. She'll do well to finish both races in touch with the rest of the pack. Pretty much the level of all the wildcard entries so far. F1 Academy is almost in the hands of Abby Pulling, and she just has to keep doing what she's doing. Hopefully being the champion will mean more than a backmarker season in Formula Regional European, as it has for last year's champion Marta Garcia. But let's get this championship out of the way first. Heading over to America, the Gateway Oval race had plenty of drama and championship defining moments. Will Power had a variety of issues towards the end of the race, and apparently even made David Malukas cry, which seems a bit harsh. Whilst Penske managed a 1-2, it was Alex Palou in 4th, who managed to pull further away from his closest challengers, and even though the race was mediocre by his standards, you can't argue it wasn't a good result. Now we have the final road race of the year at Portland, and the Spaniard has to do well here. He has said he has a disadvantage on the ovals and he can't rely on luck to carry him through every race. A podium for Palou then, but who is going to win? Well, I think this will go to Marcus Ericsson. It has been a terrible year for the Swede. His first year with Andretti has only netted him 1 podium at Detroit. He is nowhere near the title challenging places and will be lucky to finish in the top 10. A win in Portland will help him on his way, beating Joseph Newgarden to the win as the double Indy 500 winner looks to mount a late challenge for the championship. He does have a lot of catching up to do, but as previously mentioned, he is a god on the ovals. Hopefully we get a few more cars finishing at Portland than we did at Gateway. In the NXT, and Lewis Foster has all but wrapped up the title already, just 3 races left to go, and maybe, just maybe, Lewis Foster will take his foot off the gas, so to speak. I think Jamie Chadwick will bounce back from her gateway disappointment and take the win, ahead of Callum Hedges and Miles Rowe. The top 3 of the championship will be spread out around the top 10. NASCAR is back at Daytona with only a couple of races to go before the start of the playoffs. It hardly matters who wins at this point, but let's go for someone who hasn't taken a win in 2024. Ty Gibbs has been knocking on the door all year. Let's say he finally secures a playoff spot at the Coke Zero Sugar 400. IMSA and Virginia, just the GTs in action here. I don't have a clue here, so I'm picking at random. Ben Barnicoat and Jack Hawksworth in the Vassar Sullivan Lexus in the GTD Pro class, and Robbie Foley and Patrick Gallagher in the Turner Motorsport BMW. They won at the last round. If they do it again, then they'll take the title fight to the final 2 rounds. Let's round up everything else happening this weekend. Super Formula is racing at Motegi, and Tomoki Najiri is the driver to beat. I think we'll see a first win for Ayumu Iwasa, but it might be too late for him to put himself in the championship fight. It'll be interesting to see how Nick De Vries does on his Super Formula debut. I think he could be a top 5 driver here, doing better than Teo Pucher did in the Impul car. European Le Mans at Spa, 3 classes to choose winners for, and I think the LMP2 win will go to the number 25 Alcarve Pro car. Alex Lynn and Ollie Caldwell are too talented not to take a win in 2024, and Matthias Kaiser ain't half bad himself. In LMP3, let's go for the all-French Ultimate outfit, Jean-Baptiste Lehay, Mathieu Lehay and Luis Rossi at the wheel. And in the GT class, the Racing Spirit of Le Mans, Aston Martin of Derek De Boer, Valentin Hasclot and Casper Stevenson. Honestly, all of these classes in the European Series are almost impossible to predict winners for. British Touring Cars on the Donington Park Grand Prix track. I'm still shocked we haven't seen more Ash Sutton wins, so I'll give 1 to him and 1 for Jake Hill, with the 3rd win of the day going to Josh Cook. And I really do hope the top 6 can stick close to each other in the points, so we can have a thrilling climax to the 2024 championship. Finally, I'm going to throw in some predictions for Euro 4, which starts this weekend. All of these are young drivers, unproven, and they mostly race at Formula 4 level, and frankly, anything can happen. Let's say a winner piece for Freddie Slater, Jack Beaton and David Larini, son of former Formula 1 driver Nicola Larini. As I said, anything can happen in a series like this, but it's worth watching because it's almost guaranteed to be exciting. And these kids are the future of the sport, and it's best to get an eye in now. So they are my predictions for the forthcoming weekend. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree on any particular point, or do you think you have better predictions you want to give up? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the results in my weekly roundup. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.